Hello everyone, welcome to Warhammer, and the name is Fyreslayers if you watched the last video where I struggled to remember what name we were doing next. We're going to go straight into it, kind of trying to keep these at 20 minutes or below. I will fail with the Stormcast one and probably the Seraphim one as well. Seraphim because I'll want to talk a lot about it, Stormcast because there's a lot. Battle traits, you've got your Urgold runes. We went over this briefly with shorts, but once per battle, abilities you can only use, so these you can only use once, each one of these. Sorry, my dog is trying to get up in my lap and he'll fuss with me. So in the start of any turn, friendly Fyreslayers will get the strike first with an enemy unit that charged in the same turn while they're in combat with an enemy unit, so it's a little bit defensive, I think, or maybe with an enemy unit that charged. Yeah, so it seems a little defensive. Once per battle in your shooting phase, pick any number of enemy units within 10 inches of any visible Fyreslayer units. Roll a d3 for each target on a 2-up, inflict amount of mortal damage equal to the roll. Rune of Fiery Determination. You can only use this ability if you've not. Friendly Fyreslayer units have a ward of 5-up. It's in the hero phase. Rune of Relentless Zeal. For the rest of the battle round, friendly Fyreslayers can use charge even if they run, so this is probably going to be your first turn one. Rune of Searing Heat. Melee weapons have crit mortal. That's probably your turn 2. Battle formations, passive. You've got your Warrior Kinband with passive Berserk Kindred. Add 1 to wound rolls made by friendly Fyreslayer infantry that charge in the same turn. Bulwark of Molten Stone. Add 1 to save rolls while they're wholly within friendly territory. Ancient Bloodlines. Add 2 to the health of Magmadroths on the scales of Volcatrix. Lords of the Lodge, Martial Pride, and Stubborn Will. Add 3 to the control of Fyreslayer heroes, and they cannot be modified by enemy abilities. Heroic traits, you've got Blood of the Berserker. Add 1 to charge rolls for Fyreslayer units wholly within 12 of the unit. Ashbeard, if it's not a priest, they have Priest 1. If it was already priest, add 1 to their chanting rolls. Pretty powerful one. Fiercely Competitive, if the target is in combat with an enemy unit that has strike first, this unit has strike first. If this unit is in combat with an enemy unit that uses the all-out attack command, add 1 to hit rolls for the unit's attacks for the rest of the turn. That's pretty cool, pretty useful. Once per battle in the enemy hero phase, for the artifacts, you've got the Ash Cloud Rune. Until the start of your next turn, friendly infantry units cannot be targeted by shooting attacks while they're wholly within 12. Once per battle, the draw of Finest Magmalt. Add 3 to the attacks characteristic of their melee weapons for the rest of the turn, or the Droth Helm. Add 1 to hit rolls for companion weapons used by friendly Fyreslayer units while they're wholly within 12 inches. So it basically buffs up your Magmadroths. Probably pretty good. Prayer lore, you've got Zargrim's Blessings, Prayer of Ash, answer value 4, pick a friendly Fyreslayer unit wholly within 12 inches of the priest. Subtract 1 from wound rolls for attacks that target if the roll was an 8+. Also subtract 1 from rends that target the unit. Prayer of Grimnir's Fury, answer value 4. Pick a friendly Fyreslayer's infantry hero wholly within 12 inches of the priest. They can use 2 fight abilities. The second one has strike last. If the chanting roll is at 8, also add 1 to wound rolls. And Wrath of Volcatrix, Prayer 4. Pick a Magmadroth wholly within 12 inches of the priest. For the rest of the turn, the battle damage no longer has effect on them, and add 1 to the attacks of their companion weapons. If it was an 8, add 1 to the attacks of the companion weapons for every 4 damage points the target was taken. Really powerful prayer there. Manifestations, you've got the Runic Firewall that you set up within 12, answer value 4, the Molten Inferno, value 6, and then set up within 12 more than 9, and summon Zargon Flamespitter, answer value 4, is wholly within the Chanter Invisible. Auric Runefather on Magmadroth, lots of abilities. Your Raging Inferno, and your once per turn in the combat phase. On a 3-up, subtract 1 from save rolls for an enemy. Once per battle, For the rest of the turn, you add 1 to the attack characteristic of melee weapons used by friendly Fyreslayer units wholly within 12 of the unit, and then Volcanic Blood. If you make an unmodified save roll of 1 for a combat attack that targets this unit, inflict 1 mortal damage on the attacking unit after the fight's been resolved. Auric Runesun on Magmadroth. Vying for glory, each time this unit destroys a monster, add 1 to the attacks characteristic of their ancestral weapons. Dominating Roar once per turn and at the end of any turn. Pick an enemy monster. If the unit has fewer damage points than the target, subtract 10 from their control score. So basically just nuke a monster's control. A Volcanic Blood, same ability. Auric Runesmiter. Runic Empowerment, pick a friendly Fyreslayers unit wholly within 12. On a 3-up, add 1 to the wound rolls. Lashing Tails, pick an enemy unit in combat, roll 2d6. If it's equal to or less than the number of models in the target unit, inflict d3 plus 3 mortal damage. Volcanic Blood, same thing. Runefather on foot, you've got once per battle in the deployment phase, pick a friendly non-hero Fyreslayers infantry unit. For the rest of the battle, while the Royal Retinue is wholly within 6 inches, add 1 to the hit rolls for attacks made by the Royal Retinue, and this unit has a ward of 4 up, make him pretty tanky. Commanding Presence, add the current battle round number to the control score of Fyreslayers infantry wholly within 12 for the rest of the turn. It's at the end of any turn. Okay, that's pretty powerful. You just basically get to boost up your guys' control scores. Auric Runesun, you pick a friendly non-hero Fyreslayer infantry that's not used to fight. They can be picked to fight after this guy, basically. Fearless Charge, if the unit charges this turn, for the rest of the turn, add 1 to charge rolls for Fyreslayers infantry wholly within 12, or 18, my apologies. The Auric Runesmiter has Magma Tunneling. Pick this unit and up to 1 unit in its regiment. If neither unit has been deployed, you set them up underground. In your hero phase, you can set them up anywhere on the battlefield 9 inches from enemy units. Set the other unit within 6 and more than 9 from enemies. So kind of, he's your deep strike option. Auric Rune Master, High Priest of the Zargrim. Each time a prayer chanted by the unit is answered, they gain a magnet power token. And reaction is when you declare an Urgold ability, you can remove 3 of their magnet power tokens. If you do so, apply the effect below for the rune, and you basically buff each rune. For the rune of Fury, add 1 to wounds while they have strike first. For the rune of Fiery Determination, add 1 to the save rolls for Fyreslayers. Rune of Relentless Zeal, add 1 to run and charge. Rune of Searing Heat, add 1 to the rend. And Rune of Farsight, increase the range to 16. Really powerful. Battlesmith, you've got the Ancestral Battle Axe, 5 attacks, 3 up, rend 1, 2 damage. That's a pretty standard foot character stat line nowadays, it seems. The passive Icon of Grimnir, ignore negative modifiers to the control scores of friendly Fyreslayer units wholly within 12 inches. And Bard of the Lodge, if a friendly unit wholly within 12 uses a command, you make 3 additional rallies. Pretty powerful. Grimwrath Berserker, 5. You've got your Grimwrath oaths. You pick one of the following oaths. I will guard them with my life, while it's wholly within 6 inches of another friendly Fyreslayer hero. You add 1 to hit rolls and add 1 to ward rolls. If a friendly Fyreslayer hero wholly within 6 of the unit is destroyed, the effect no longer applies. I will not be stopped. Add 1 to charge rolls and add 1 to save rolls. If this unit uses the retreat or rally abilities, this effect no longer applies. A Battle Fury, if this unit is in combat, it can use 2 fight abilities. However, the second one has strike last once per battle. Auric Flamekeeper, you've got your Master Flame rune. Once per turn in your hero phase, if any friendly units have been destroyed, pick a friendly Fyreslayer's infantry unit wholly within 12 to be the target. Roll a dice. If the roll is equal to or less than the number of Fyreslayer units that have been destroyed during the battle, equal to or less, pick one of the following effects. They get a ward of 5 up, add 2 to charge rolls, or add 1 to the damage. So basically just causes people to start taking revenge. Doomseeker, Oathbound, pick an enemy unit to be their quarry. You can pick one that has been deployed in reserve. Add 1 to hit and wound rolls that target the quarry. If this unit is destroyed while it's in combat with the quarry, inflict 3 mortal damage on the quarry after that destroyed this unit's attacks has been resolved. Really good anti-hero character. Runic Power, add 1 to the damage of while it's taken 1 damage point, add 2 to the damage while it has 2 or more damage points. So if he's taking damage, he hits for 3 or 4 damage a swing, which is pretty powerful. Grimhold Exile, you've got once per battle, Last of the Lodge Fire. Pick an enemy unit in combat. Roll a number of dice equal to the health characteristic. For each 4-up, inflict 1 mortal damage on the target, so pretty much your anti-monster character. Pick up to 3 friendly infantry units wholly within 12 inches once per battle, and you can reroll charge rolls. Volkite Berserkers, you get some 2 wound infantry with each time a model is slain. On a 5-up, inflicts 1 mortal damage, so strike back. Volkite Berserkers with Fire Steel weapons, add 1 to the attacks if they charged, so 3 attacks apiece. Or Hearthguard, Molten Rock Bolts, each time a shooting attack scores a critical hit, subtract 1 from the target's move characteristic. They cannot be moved at below half. Unfortunate. But, slow people down. Vulcan Flame Seekers, pick a friendly monster in combat with this unit to be the target. On a 3-up, subtract D3 from the damage characteristic of their companion melee weapons for the rest of the turn. So really anti-monster unit. Hearthguard Berserkers with Flame Strike Polearms, Duty Unto Death. You've got your Ward 5-up ability while they're within combat range of a hero. So keep them near heroes. Smoldering Braziers. Pick an enemy unit, roll D3 on a 2-up, inflict amount of mortal damage on the target equal to the roll at the end of any turn. Hearthguard Berserkers with Broadaxes. They've got the same ward ability, but while it is in the combat range of any damaged Fyreslayer heroes, add 1 to the attack's characteristic of their melee weapons. Pretty powerful there. Molten Inferno, 10 health, 8-inch move, 5-up save, banishment 7, Raging Torrents of Lava, 8-inch range, 2 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, runs 2d3 damage, can shoot in combat. Molten Claws, 6 attacks, 4-up, 2-up, rend 1d3 damage, crit mortal. Flame Scarred, pick an enemy unit that had any damage points allocated. Subtract 1 from wound rolls for the target's combat attacks until the end of your next turn. Sorry, just checking something. Okay, we're good. Runic Firewall, 8 health, 3-up save, banishment 7. Pick up to 3 enemy units within 6 inches. Roll d3 for each target. On a 2-up, inflict amount of mortal damage equal to the roll. Subtract 3 from the control score. So pretty powerful barrier spell. And then the Zarugron Flame Spitter, Magma Blast, ranged weapon, no melee weapons. 18-inch range, 8 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, rend 1 damage, crit of 2 hits. Add 1 to the hit rolls if the target has 10 or more models. Add 1 to hit and wound rolls if they have 15 or more models. Magnic Battleforge has 8 health, 3-up save, ward of 6-up. Once per battle in your hero phase, spending the forge, heal D3 each friendly Fyreslayer unit on the battlefield. They can't use the Molten Blessings if it does this. If you at the start of any turn you have Molten Blessings, pick a friendly Fyreslayer priest within, add 1 to chanting rolls. In addition, they can unbind as if they were Wizard 1. Fyreslayer's Spearhead, you've got Awaken the Runes, pretty much the exact same with the regular and enhanced, except you roll for it. 1 to 5 is regular, 6 is enhanced. You get either Magmic Tunnels or Fire Steel Throwing Axes once per battle at the start of the first battle round. Pick up to 2 friendly units, remove them from the battlefield, set them up anywhere on the battlefield, more than 6 from enemy units. Really powerful ability there. Oh, I didn't say what was in the here. A Battlesmith, 5 Hearthguard Berserkers, 5 Volkite Berserkers, 4 units of 5 Volkite Berserkers. That's a lot of wounds to get through. And then the Fire Steel Throwing Axes, pick any number of friendly units that are not in combat and are within 10 of any enemy units. For each of them, pick a visible enemy unit within 10 inches of it and roll a dice. On a 4-up, inflict a d3 mortal damage on that enemy unit. That's once per turn in your shooting phase. Okay, interesting. Start of any turn, too stubborn to die, heal d3 your general. Horn of Grimnir in your hero phase. If they're not in combat, roll a dice for each friendly unit on the battlefield that has any slain models. On a 3-up, you can return a slain model. Spirit of Grimnir, you can reroll activation rolls you make for the Urgold runes ability. Not super useful. Takes it from a 16% chance to a 33% chance. And then Powerful Presence, add 3 to your general's control score. Probably going with Horn of Grimnir if you're doing this. But yeah, let me just double check. So you've got your Hearthrend Berserkers with 2 wounds apiece, and your Volkite Berserkers with 2 wounds apiece. So that's 40 wounds, 50 wounds, 50 wounds worth of infantry. That's tough. Now, they don't have the best armor save. Like it's 5-ups and 6-ups. Or no, it's just 6-ups. Okay. That's a little bit better balanced. But still, really powerful abilities there. Notes on the Fyreslayers. They hit like a truck. Like if the Daughters of Cain hit hard, I think some of these units hit so much harder and are mostly tankier. You've got a lot more 5-up saves. You've got some really you've got a lot of foot characters. You've got a lot of foot characters. It's one of my gripes with the Fyreslayers. They need some sort of like mini Magmadroth cavalry or something. They need something different. I like the idea, but I don't like the execution of the army. I think it would be really cool to do it and paint them all tattooed or with war paint, Pictish style dwarves, but I don't want to paint that many just same units. You can't do too much variety with Fyreslayers, and I think that's what's holding them back, most definitely. Magmadroths help, but they're the only different thing about the army. Everything else is a foot character, or foot infantry. They need something else. But let me know your opinions. Please comment what faction you're most excited to see in Age of Sigmar 4. I will be doing my best to have a battle report coming out soon, as well as painting live streams coming out soon as well. So if you want to see those, a great way to be able to see those is to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. But when you do subscribe, hit that bell notification that will let you know when I go live. I go live pretty frequently. I'm usually playing Minecraft, but I'm really excited to start painting as well. I got a setup. I should be able to do it pretty well. I'm so excited to start painting again. I have not painted for a little bit, and I really want to get my Stormcast painted up. So, yeah, let me know in the comments what you're most excited about in this new edition. What would you like to see in a battle report? Because I also want to do one of those. Besides that, I'll see you in the next episode where we're going to be talking about, I do believe it is not Lumina. It is the good old sea elves, the Ideneth Deepkin. So I'll see you then.